feel for you and for him to when you took him out in the last half minute and place got him on its feet? And so.
It felt amazing. I mean, that's why you coach. Stuff like that, moments like that, where he just, I mean, every shot was, I mean, he was obviously in the zone, and for him to get that appreciation from the fans really means a lot. But he earned it. He earned it. He earned every bit of it. So that was really fun.
You guys have shown a tendency to cut into deficits before, but kind of maybe lose a little bit of it. What was different tonight about getting it from 23 down to 8 and eventually getting over that?
Yeah, tonight we were like, we just got to cut the lead, you know, and we didn't put our heads down when we got down big, and we were like, all we got to do is cut the lead a little bit and get it to 10 and we'll be fine. And the big 3 off the glass going into halftime was a big play because it made it a 12-point game. And as bad as we were and as far down as we got, in the locker room, they were like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. You know, we just have a few things we got to fix and we'll be fine. But the spirit tonight and the kind of will was a little bit different. As far as like, we're good. We'll as long as we do what we're supposed to do, we can come back in this game, and we did.
Defense is something that you guys have preached hard on all season long, to hold them to 34 points in the second half. How proud are you of the defensive effort?
Yeah. I mean, after giving up 39 in the first quarter to hold them to 34 in the second half is really good. And we had everybody out there. You know, Alpi was out there with Christian, blocking shots and getting rebounds, and Schroeder was out there making plays, and Jalen was fighting through screens, and same with Scoot and KJ, and everybody who was on the floor really did a good job defensively. And that's what I kept harping on in the huddles, is like, it's the defense that's getting us to where we're getting. It's the defense. And then obviously Seawood got super, super hot. So just kept calling his play over and over.
Can you talk about the resiliency of your team, though, to play like you all played on yesterday, to come back today and get the victory?
Yeah. It shows a lot about our group. It shows a lot about the character. It shows a lot about at this time of the year, it would be easy to just, when you get down as much as we did, to just mail it in. And we're not that group. We're not that team. And we responded, which is good. You wouldn't know that we played a game last night the way that we played, especially in the second half.
With Christian, known him longer probably than anybody else on the team.
Yeah.
He's one of the few guys that's still here from when you first got here, and this hasn't been an easy year.
No.
Does that make a night like this even more meaningful?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the relationship that I have with Christian goes way back, and we've been through highs and lows and a lot of different things, but to see him have the best night of his career in a win, like lead us to a win, is really satisfying to me, and I'm sure to him, because I mean, he was he was on fire. It was awesome.
How much of the defensive turnover was do you credit to him?
Quite a bit. I think Alpi did a good job as well on Porzingis, his physicality, but the rebounding was a lot better in the second half than it was in the first half. Did we catch him? No, we didn't catch him, but you know, to have those two guys out there, and Christian was jumping over everybody and getting rebounds, and then Alpi was bumping into everybody and getting his rebounds. It was good tonight. It was good tonight to have both those guys on the floor together. But yeah, his defense is very important to our group. If he's like into it defensively, he has a responsibility. He has a lot of responsibility on our team, and he's one of the leaders, and he showed it tonight.
You always talk about these guys learning and how important it is to take lessons from everything. It seems like maybe even in this game alone, they took lessons from the beginning and were able to do what you were asking for. Is that satisfying to you to see it kind of go together?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's always satisfying as a coach when you're coaching them and they're learning and they're actually applying it and it's working for them. So it's definitely satisfying. I think Jalen especially like kind of got going for us on both ends of the floor. He got the one where he trailed and kind of like slithered in, got the steal, and then went down the other way. And I think he got to the free throw line on that one. But the defense is something we've been talking a lot about, and our focus on it has to get better, and it did from the first half to the second half.
Well, those numbers don't seem to jump off the page. I thought Dennis was really instrumental in the third, fourth quarter run that you guys had. He played a pivotal role in you guys getting back in this game.
He definitely did. I mean, he's a point guard and he has know-how, and he's, as I continue to say, he's played in big games and all that, but he settled us on the offensive end. And on the defensive end, he applies so much pressure on the ball and has a way of, like I was talking about Jalen slithering. He has a way of not getting hit on screens and just kind of getting around, and really, really sound technique defensively. So it was both ends for Dennis, and it was great. It was also good to have Eric back. I mean, he just is like a solid basketball player, and to have him back was big for us.
Christian kind of had that back and forth, I guess, with Kristaps Porzingis, where Porzingis got the dunk on one end, Christian comes down on the other end, gets the poster on him. Was that kind of the moment that you saw maybe igniting Christian a little bit in this game to get him going the way that he did?
I guess so. I don't really know. I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint the moment that someone gets into the zone or whatever. Maybe that's what it was, but maybe I made 8 for 9 from 3, 7 for 7 in the second half. It was just, I don't know if it was a 3 that he felt that went down or the dunk or whatever, but I'm sure you'll ask him that question and he'll have a better answer than I will.
How much was having Alfie on the floor, having them on the floor together, but having Alfie out there to be able to free him up like that and to be able to have him run more?
Yeah, it was important. Christian was able to kind of be a helper from the perimeter, and Alfie did a very good job of being physical with Porzingis. Porzingis in the first half really hurt us with his rolls and his finishes and all of the other things that he was doing. But in the second half, it was a little bit harder on him, and that was Alfie. So those two playing together, it's good to see that they can play together and play well together and win. Maybe we can do a little bit more. You never want to close the door on anything really, but two of your best players being able to play together is important.
Thanks.